Sugar, while delicious, can have a sneaky impact on everything from your mood to your energy levels and even your physical health. From the quick highs and lows that disrupt your day to deeper issues like joint pain, compromised immune function, and uncontrollable cravings, the effects of sugar are far-reaching. But how does something so sweet lead to not-so-sweet consequences like fatty liver disease, dental woes, and even affect your sleep and skin? Could cutting back on sugar be the key to alleviating chronic pain and improving your overall health? Stick around to find out the hidden impacts of sugar on your body and mind. Mood swings and energy fluctuations. Consuming sugar leads to a swift rise in blood glucose levels, providing an immediate but short-lived boost in energy and mood. This surge is often described as a sugar high, during which individuals may experience heightened alertness and a temporary spiritual uplift. However, this is quickly followed by a rapid decline in blood sugar levels, a crash that can lead to feelings of fatigue, irritability, and mood instability. This cycle of highs and lows is detrimental to one's emotional well-being and disrupts daily energy levels, affecting productivity and overall quality of life. The impact of sugar on mood is partly mediated through its effect on the brain's reward system. Sugar consumption stimulates the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. While this mechanism is designed to encourage the consumption of foods critical for survival, the overstimulation caused by frequent sugar intake can reduce dopamine receptors over time. This adaptation means that more sugar is required to achieve the same pleasure response, contributing to a cycle of cravings and mood fluctuations. Additionally, the sugar-induced highs and crashes can exacerbate symptoms of anxiety and depression as the body struggles to maintain a stable energy level and mood. Sugar's impact on energy levels throughout the day is also a concern. The initial energy spike that follows sugar consumption is short-lived, leading to a rapid decrease in energy as the body works to normalize blood sugar levels. This process can result in feelings of lethargy and a lack of concentration. Over time, reliance on sugar for energy can diminish the capacity to utilize other, more stable energy sources, such as fats and proteins, worsening energy fluctuations. Muscle and joint pain. When sugar is ingested in large amounts, it can lead to an increase in the body's inflammatory responses. This inflammation is not limited to one area, but can become systemic, affecting various body parts, including muscles and joints. The process begins with a spike in blood sugar levels, which prompts the body to release pro-inflammatory messengers called cytokines. These cytokines play a pivotal role in the body's immune response, but can lead to chronic inflammation when produced in excess due to high sugar intake. Chronic inflammation contributes to muscle stiffness, soreness, and joint pain. The joints, in particular, can become inflamed, leading to conditions such as arthritis, where the wear and tear of joint cartilage are accelerated, resulting in pain and decreased mobility. Moreover, the inflammation can compromise the healing process, prolonging the duration of pain and potentially leading to further damage. Masking this pain with medication provides temporary relief but does not address the underlying cause. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, commonly used to alleviate pain, can reduce the symptoms of inflammation but may also lead to side effects with long-term use, such as gastrointestinal issues and increased risk of heart disease. More critically, relying solely on medication overlooks the impact of diet on inflammation and pain. Addressing the dietary root causes of inflammation, specifically by reducing sugar intake, can significantly alleviate chronic pain. A diet low in refined sugars and high in anti-inflammatory foods, rich in antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and phytonutrients, can help reduce inflammation, thereby mitigating pain. This approach addresses the symptoms of muscle and joint pain and promotes overall health, reducing the risk of chronic diseases associated with inflammation. Compromised immune function. One of the primary ways sugar impairs immune function is through its influence on inflammation. High sugar intake promotes the release of pro-inflammatory cytokines, signaling proteins that play a role in the immune response. While inflammation is vital to the body's defense mechanism against pathogens, chronic inflammation, induced by sustained high sugar consumption, can suppress the immune system. This chronic inflammatory state can hinder the immune system's ability to respond to pathogens effectively, making the body more prone to infections. Additionally, sugar directly competes with vitamin C, a crucial nutrient for immune health within immune cells. Both glucose and vitamin C are similar in their chemical structure, and they enter cells through the exact transport mechanism, the GLUT1 receptor. When blood sugar levels are high, glucose can outcompete vitamin C to enter cells, including the immune system. Since vitamin C is essential for the function of these immune cells, including the production of interferons, which are proteins that help to fight off infections, high sugar intake can diminish the immune system's response to pathogens. The competition between glucose and vitamin C is particularly significant because, unlike most animals, humans cannot synthesize vitamin C and must obtain it from their diet. This makes the availability of vitamin C for immune cells even more critical. In the context of high sugar consumption, the reduced availability of vitamin C can impair the immune system's ability to produce a robust response to infections, leading to increased vulnerability to viruses and bacteria. Uncontrollable sweet cravings. Uncontrollable sweet cravings are a common consequence of excessive sugar consumption, deeply rooted in the brain's complex reward system. When sugar enters the body, it triggers the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and satisfaction. This response is part of the brain's reward system, designed to reinforce behaviors essential for survival, such as eating. However, unlike the natural foods our ancestors consumed, which released dopamine at moderate levels, the refined sugars in modern diets cause a surge of dopamine, leading to a much more intense experience of pleasure. This heightened response sets the stage for a powerful cycle of cravings. Each time sugar is consumed, the brain's reward pathways are activated, reinforcing the association between sugar and pleasure. Over time, this can increase the consumption of sugary foods to recapture that heightened sense of reward. However, the brain adjusts to these frequent dopamine surges with repeated exposure. It becomes less sensitive to the neurotransmitter, requiring more significant amounts of sugar to achieve the same pleasurable effect. This adaptation not only fuels the cycle of cravings, but can also diminish the pleasure derived from other activities and foods, making sugary treats seem even more appealing in comparison. Physiological factors further compound the cycle of uncontrollable sweet cravings. Sugar consumption leads to spikes in blood glucose levels, followed by rapid drops, which can trigger hunger and cravings for more sugar to restore energy levels quickly. This seesaw effect on blood glucose and insulin levels can exacerbate cravings and make them more challenging to control. Moreover, the cycle of cravings is not merely a physical response, but becomes entwined with emotional and psychological factors. Many people turn to sugary foods for comfort or as a reward, reinforcing the cycle of cravings through behavioral patterns. Tooth decay and dental health. Sugar is pivotal in developing dental cavities, because it is a critical nutrient for harmful oral bacteria. When these bacteria metabolize sugar, they produce acid as a byproduct, which erodes the tooth enamel, leading to decay. This process is not instantaneous, but occurs over time with frequent exposure to sugar, highlighting the importance of dietary habits in maintaining dental health. From a historical perspective, the impact of diet on dental health becomes even more evident. Studies of ancient populations have shown that tooth decay was relatively rare in societies before the widespread availability of refined sugars and processed foods. Notable research by Weston A. Price vividly illustrated this phenomenon in the early 20th century. Price, a dentist, conducted extensive studies of indigenous populations worldwide, comparing the dental health of those consuming traditional diets with those who had adopted Western dietary habits. His findings revealed a stark contrast. Populations consuming diets low in processed foods and sugars had significantly lower rates of dental caries and overall better dental health than those rich in refined sugars and processed foods. Price's work underscored the detrimental effects of sugar on dental health, a finding that numerous studies have supported since. These historical observations provide valuable insights into the natural resistance to tooth decay that diet can foster. They also underscore the dramatic shift in oral health outcomes accompanying the introduction of sugar into a population's diet. This shift has become more pronounced with the global spread of Western dietary practices, elevated blood markers, Elevated blood markers, specifically glucose, A1C, and insulin levels, are crucial indicators of an individual's metabolic health and can signal excessive sugar intake and the onset of metabolic health issues. Understanding these markers is vital for early detection and prevention of prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, and insulin resistance. Glucose, the primary form of sugar used by the body for energy, is regulated in the bloodstream by insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas. Healthy glucose levels are maintained through a delicate balance between glucose intake from the diet and insulin's role in facilitating the cellular uptake of glucose. Elevated fasting glucose levels indicate that this balance is disrupted, often due to the body's inability to effectively use insulin, leading to glucose accumulation in the blood. The A1C test, also known as the hemoglobin A1C or HbA1c test, measures the percentage of glycated hemoglobin in the blood. Glycated hemoglobin is formed when blood glucose attaches to red blood cells' hemoglobin. The A1C test provides an average blood glucose level over the past 2 to 3 months, offering a longer-term perspective on blood sugar control. Higher A1C levels suggest that blood glucose has been consistently elevated, indicating potential insulin resistance or diabetes. Insulin levels in the blood reflect the pancreas's response to glucose. In the early stages of insulin resistance, the pancreas compensates for reduced cellular sensitivity to insulin by producing more insulin, leading to elevated insulin levels. In the presence of normal or high glucose levels, persistent high insulin levels can indicate insulin resistance, a risk factor for developing type 2 diabetes and associated metabolic conditions. Dulled taste buds. Sugar profoundly impacts our sensory perception, particularly our ability to taste. When consumed in large quantities over time, sugar overstimulates the taste buds, effectively numbing them to the subtleties of flavors that less sweet foods offer. This overstimulation is not merely a temporary adjustment, it's a recalibration of the taste receptors that demand higher levels of sweetness to trigger pleasure and satisfaction responses. Essentially, the more sugar one consumes, the less sensitive the taste buds become to sweet flavors, setting up a cycle where increasingly sweeter foods are needed to satisfy cravings. This desensitization to sweetness has significant implications for dietary habits. Foods and beverages that once tasted pleasantly sweet begin to seem bland, pushing individuals to seek out even sweeter alternatives to achieve the same level of satisfaction. This shift isn't limited to desserts and candies. It extends to everyday items like bread, sauces, and snacks, which can contain hidden sugars that contribute to this cycle. The craving for sweeter foods is not merely a matter of preference, but a physiological response to reduced sensitivity. The consequence is a palate skewed towards high sugar content, making the natural flavors of fruits, vegetables, and whole foods less appealing. This change undermines the enjoyment of a wide range of foods and poses a significant barrier to healthy eating. The push for increasingly sweeter foods can lead to a higher intake of processed foods, contributing to a host of health issues linked to excessive sugar consumption, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. Poor sleep quality. High sugar intake is increasingly recognized for its adverse effects on sleep quality, contributing to restlessness and difficulty falling and staying asleep. The consumption of foods high in sugar can lead to fluctuations in blood sugar levels, which in turn may significantly impact sleep patterns, disrupting the natural sleep-wake cycle and affecting overall sleep quality. When sugar is consumed in large quantities, incredibly close to bedtime, it causes a rapid increase in blood glucose levels. This spike prompts the pancreas to release insulin to help cells absorb the glucose, either used as energy or stored for later use. However, this necessary regulatory response can lead to a sharp decline in blood sugar levels, known as hyperglycemia. During sleep, hyperglycemia can act as a physiological stressor, potentially triggering the release of hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, which are known to increase alertness and can cause awakenings or difficulties in falling asleep. Moreover, the insulin spike followed by a rapid drop in blood sugar levels can interfere with the body's internal clock, or circadian rhythm, which regulates the sleep-wake cycle. This disruption can lead to an imbalance in sleep-regulating hormones, such as melatonin, further impacting the ability to fall asleep and maintain deep restorative sleep stages. The result is a restless night with frequent awakenings, leading to non-restorative sleep and fatigue the following day. The relationship between sugar intake, insulin spikes, and sleep disruption extends beyond immediate effects on blood sugar levels. Over time, a pattern of high sugar consumption can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where the body's cells become less responsive to insulin. Insulin resistance has been associated with a higher prevalence of sleep disorders, including insomnia and obstructive sleep apnea, due to its impact on hormone regulation and the potential for weight gain, which is a risk factor for sleep apnea. Digestive issues. The gut microbiome, a complex mix of microbes living in the digestive system, plays a crucial role in overall health, influencing digestion, immunity, and mental health. However, the delicate balance of this ecosystem can be disrupted by various factors, with dietary choices, particularly sugar consumption, being a significant disruptor. Excessive sugar intake can lead to an imbalance in gut bacteria, favoring the growth of harmful bacteria and yeasts over beneficial ones. This imbalance, known as dysbiosis, can have wide-ranging effects on health, including developing digestive issues like bloating. Bloating, a common digestive complaint, can result from sugar fermentation by undesirable gut bacteria. These bacteria produce gas as a byproduct, leading to discomfort and the sensation of bloating. Furthermore, a diet high in sugary foods can contribute to the reduced production of digestive enzymes and alterations in stomach acid levels, compounding digestive problems and leading to poor nutrient absorption. The long-term consequences of a disturbed gut microbiome extend beyond uncomfortable digestive symptoms. Research has shown that dysbiosis can contribute to a host of health issues, including inflammatory bowel disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and even mental health disorders such as depression and anxiety. This is partly due to the gut-brain axis, a bidirectional communication pathway between the gut and the brain. An imbalanced microbiome can affect this communication, impacting mood and cognitive functions. Skin problems. The relationship between sugar consumption and skin health is profound and multifaceted, impacting the frequency and severity of acne breakouts and accelerating the skin's aging process. The consumption of high-sugar foods leads to rapid spikes in blood sugar levels, which prompts the body to release insulin. This hormonal response can increase the production of oils in the skin, making it a fertile ground for acne. Moreover, high levels of insulin can stimulate the production of androgens. These hormones contribute to the development of acne by increasing oil gland activity and influencing skin cell turnover. Beyond contributing to acne, sugar has a more insidious effect on the skin by forming advanced glycation end products, AGEs. AGEs are harmful compounds formed when protein or fat combine with sugar in the bloodstream. This process, known as glycation, affects the skin's collagen and elastin, the proteins responsible for maintaining the skin's firmness and elasticity. As AGEs accumulate, they damage these vital proteins, leading to the loss of skin elasticity and the appearance of wrinkles, sagging, and a general look of premature aging. Furthermore, AGEs can inhibit the body's natural antioxidant enzymes, leaving the skin more vulnerable to environmental damage like pollution and UV radiation, further accelerating aging. Weight gain and insulin resistance. Sugar's role in the global obesity epidemic and the surge of metabolic diseases cannot be overstated. Its consumption triggers a cascade of physiological responses that significantly contribute to weight gain and the development of insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes and other metabolic conditions. When sugar is ingested, particularly in its refined form found in processed foods and sugary drinks, it causes a rapid increase in blood glucose levels. To manage this surge, the pancreas releases insulin, a hormone that facilitates glucose uptake by cells for energy. However, the constant demand for insulin due to frequent sugar consumption can lead to cells becoming less responsive to insulin signals, a condition known as insulin resistance. Insulin resistance compels the pancreas to produce even more insulin to achieve the same effect, creating a vicious cycle that can eventually impair pancreatic function. Moreover, insulin is not just a regulator of blood sugar levels, but also a crucial role in fat storage. High levels of insulin promote the storage of fat, particularly in the abdominal area, contributing to obesity and increasing the risk of conditions like heart disease. The effects of sugar on weight gain and insulin resistance are further compounded by its impact on hunger and satiety hormones. Foods high in sugar often lack fiber and protein, essential for feeling full. As a result, people may consume more calories than they need, contributing to weight gain. Additionally, sugar can disrupt the balance of hormones like leptin, which helps regulate energy balance and signal when the body has had enough food. Over time, high sugar consumption can lead to leptin resistance, making it harder to control appetite and contributing to overeating. That's all from this video. What's one change you could make today to reduce your sugar intake? Comment below, hit the like button if you found this video insightful, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Until next time, let's stay healthy.